This is the Choppin It Up show brought to you by the Marching Podcast and Blog Talk Radio. And now, here's your host, the Phantom Podcaster himself, Joe Beard.
Greetings, and I thank God for my unconquerable soul. Welcome to the Choppin It Up show this evening. I am your host, Joe Beard, and happy to be of service for you tonight. And I hope you guys can hear me over this music. I mean, I know I'm breaking up the intro, but this thing, I'm fighting with Blog Talk Radio about this thing. But I digress. Welcome to the show tonight. It is July 21st, 2015, 6 o'clock on the West Coast and 9 o'clock on the East Coast. We appreciate all those listening live and listening in podcast form, whether through iTunes, Blog Talk Radio, our website, wherever you are on the internet this evening. We appreciate that you are listening. At the end of the broadcast, if you decide you like the show, then we appreciate a donation to the network, if you feel so in your heart, of course. Just simply go to themarchingpodcast.com and click on the donate button to help improve the show and help build our scholarship fund. All right? Welcome back to the network. We are rolling along here for this summer of July 2015 to the broadcast year, broadcasting week after week. We are broadcasting again on our backup night, or B night, as I like to call it, Tuesdays here on the Marching Podcast, and we'll be broadcasting every Tuesday this month with some great interviews, and we're really excited about the people that we talk to this season. Hello to you. If this is your first time on the broadcast, we hope you enjoy the show and tell your friends. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Blog Talk Radio page. Subscribe to us on Facebook, because now, you know, we create all of our episodes and events in Facebook, and if you subscribe to Facebook, you should be abreast to all our events. And follow our blog, blog4.themarchingpodcast.com. There is an option now where you can get all the alerts from the business pages, and we're excited about that. Sorry, I read that twice in the script. All right, you can keep up with the show through our Facebook page, and all those previous things, just listen. So thanks for listening in advance, and thank you for listening and spreading the word. Let's build scholarships for our kids. All right? Let's turn this music off here so we can get into the show. Very quickly, want to make sure to listen to our Director's Podcast series next month, TBA with Dr. Kevin Davenport, more than likely on our normal broadcast day of Sundays at 5 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern, here on Blog Talk Radio Network, featuring Dr. Kevin O. Davenport and highlighting his book, Practical Techniques for Building the High School Marching Band. And that'll take us right into the football season and our flagship series, the 90 Degree Show. So follow the Marching Podcast for all the details, for all the updates, and all the things with the network. So tonight, we chop it up with Damien Emilien, all right? I met Damien over the internet, and just let me say there are lots of Facebook groups out there now. So basically, if you're on Facebook, if you like to knit, or if you the Qs, if you the bros, or whatever you are, you like basketball, there will be a page for you on Facebook. And, of course, there are a lot of pages for HBCU marching bands or just band heads in general, band world. I'm on a couple of them. Great entertainment, let me say. You know, some of them, people are just posting videos of the bands. People are posting other stuff. Just off the chain as far as Facebook groups out there are concerned, okay? With that being said, there are numerous groups for the Sonic Boom of the South. My favorite one is Boominati. I mean, you got to see Illuminati, but Boominati, that's tight. I know it's tight. It's tight. I mean, it's just, so like that's like one of my favorite names. I digress. Anyway, I think I met Damien on, and I'm letting the cat out of the bag, through the Royal Order of Trump Funk page. That's right. The Jackson State trumpet section is called the Royal Order of Trump Funk. Shout out to the older upperclassmen, the Echoes of Hell, as well. Okay? So I am telling that much of the interview, but that's how that's how I was able to interview him and why we decided to highlight him tonight. Growing up with that tradition, I wanted to have that year tradition where, you learned about the history from years back, and then old heads would come during homecoming and scare you and tell you how you wasn't as good as they were back in the day. I wanted that, okay? So I think I saw him or met him through the Facebook page, and I think he posted a video. And the brother is off the chain on the horn. Really, really good. And I really like to talk to young people that are really good with their instruments because it's special to me. Like, it's nothing unbelievable, and I'm sure you band heads out there know when a young man can just step out there and start to play. And I mean really play their horn or the axe, as they say. But definitely I wanted that family tradition. And, I wanted the old heads to come back and critique us, or the tradition was in place so that, I actually came in, took over, saw what's in front of me, and then I moved on. Just like the guys from Miami, the U and the football team, they go out and hang out and lift with each other in the off season, and the teams they play for be tripping, they be hating, they be like, y'all come back, for our OTAs. I wanted something like that with Jackson State, and it was one of the main reasons why I transferred from Johnson C. Smith, other than the Dudley incident. But I wanted to go to a section that had a name and a tradition. People would come back and support the program, just like those guys in Miami, and anyone who went to the program, long-standing name, or had their own section organization. It was a family, and that's something that I wanted to be a part of. So went to Jackson State, became a part of the Royal Order of Trump Funk, and, we have a picnic every year. That history is still going strong, but the main reason why I connected with Damien, other than seeing the video of him playing, he's younger than me. And, I am getting to be an old head, but just basically now looking at all the young funk, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think I went one year, and of course 97 was one of the dopest sections of all time. But of course, I'm hearing the young funk, 02, funk 02, Joe. Yeah, funk 02. Yeah, we got y'all, brother. Like, and I done seen the debate on Facebook between the two. So that's actually a good thing. You know what I'm saying? For your band program to have that. And I think that all people that went to those major programs understand what I'm talking about. It's a family thing. It's like the mob. It's the family. And it's like a frat. It's exactly like it, where you have that common bond, but the template is in place for you to carry that tradition on. And I thought that was special. And I like to, reach out to the young funk now, and I see Damien and all the other guys doing well with their degrees now and with families. Haven't even met some of them in person, but they're funk, and they're connected. So definitely hung out with more people in your section. This is really the last thing before we get to our first commercial break. When I was at Smith, I remember that, we were the class of 96. We were the white shirts. So, me and T.D. Hollins and all the other guys, I can't start naming a whole bunch of names, Sammy, Steve, Corey, all of those guys, we didn't all play the same instruments. But we were that family-knit group because we were so small, whereas, you go to Jackson State, our bigger program, you kind of meet more or hang out more with the people in your section. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the 9-7 Thugsters, my crab class, CBs, the 11 guys, or the 10 guys that came in with me and tore it up. We definitely represented. Shout out to our crab president, Troy Milton. Just saw him the other day on Facebook taking a picture with Funk from back in the day, from each decade. So that tradition was special to me. It's something I wanted. I think it's everybody who's listening tonight can understand. And I don't even want to say it's the major programs, because I'm sure other smaller schools have their traditions as well, and their old heads are coming back, trying to punk them and all too. But I just love that impression, and I wanted to highlight someone for you guys tonight who's dope on his horn, but young funk to me. It's really still, we're making an impression that it enables these young minds to want to be in college. And I think being amongst a group of educators has the best results for us, okay? So this will be a podcast, and we'll accept your calls at 718-664-6025. You can email the show at marchingpodcast@gmail.com, tweet us at marchingpodcast, or follow our blog, blog4.themarchingpodcast.com. If you are listening live and had a Blog Talk Radio account, you can log into the chat room and leave your comments there. Last and definitely not least, please check out the website, themarchingpodcast.com. Let's take the time to hear from our sponsors. Tonight's show is brought to you by Liquid Effects Photography, the Edge One Productions, Block Band Music, bandhead.org. Let's take the time to hear from them now.
What's up? This is Damien Emilien, repping New Orleans, Louisiana. You're chopping it up here on the Marching Podcast Network.
From photo shoots to graduation pictures, from probates to band footage, from pageants to yard shows, there's only one team you can count on, the Edge One Productions. Visit theedge1.com and trust me, you won't be disappointed.
Band directors, have you ever found yourselves in this situation? Showtime is quickly approaching. Your budget is quickly disappearing. Your music choices are narrowing. The equipment condition is wearing and your stress level is mounting. Stop what you're doing and contact Block Band Music and find out how we've got you. Check www.blockbandmusic.com, providing music, equipment, gear, and accessories to show style, core style, and traditional bands worldwide.
Having an anniversary party, birthday party, or better yet, you're about to marry that special someone? Liquid Effects Photography is the perfect choice to immortalize all your most special moments. With 10 years of dependable professional service that can deliver from the conventional to the best in cutting-edge technology and creativity. Come experience the uniqueness of Liquid Effects Photography. We serve the entire upper Midwest and will travel further upon request. Come check us out at liquideffects.com. That's LIQUIDEFFEX.com. Or call us at 773-454-5556. That's 773-454-5556. What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is. Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is the social network for HBCU show bands. You can create your own profile and post videos, photos, and comments on bandhead.org. Need somewhere to post events, audition schedules, job postings? Check out bandhead.org. Are you recruiting for talent? Go to bandhead.org. Bandhead.org, a social network for bands.
What up, bandheads? Are you looking for a talk show about HBCU marching bands? Well, look no further than the 90 Degree Show, brought to you by the Marching Podcast. Every Sunday during the football season at 8 p.m. Eastern, we recap the most intriguing battles of the weekend and give you, the listener, an opportunity to voice your opinion on the battle by calling into the show and talking with our panelists. Are you ready for the only interactive show in the world for HBCU marching bands? Then check us out Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern at blogtalkradio.com/marchingpodcast. The 90 Degree Show, the interactive HBCU band podcast show.
This is Joshua Cousin representing the Ocean of Soul, and you're chopping it up on the Marching Podcast Network.
Okay, we are back, and we're ready to chop it up with Damien. If you want to call in, you can do so with the number that you see there on your screen, 718-664-6025, and we'll take those calls at the conclusion of the interview. So now, without further ado, let's chop it up with Damien Emilien. You're now here with the Marching Podcast, and we got another outstanding guest here. From the younger generation, Mr. Damien Emilien. Emilien, is that correct?
Yes, Emilien.
Emilien,
Yes,
what's going
Emilien.
on, man?
Nothing much, man. Just at the house practicing before I head to work. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right, man. I really appreciate you being on. Like I say, from the younger generation, this is really cool for me because, it's really cool to see that a lot of the same traditions there are for the younger folks, and then to see it, hear you. I got you on Facebook. I see your posts and everything. It's good to see that that those things are still alive. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Damien, where are you from, man?
I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana.
Okay. All right. Now, are your
Born and raised.
your folks and family, are they all from the New Orleans area?
My dad is, but my mom, she's originally from Italy.
Okay. So how did they meet, if you don't mind me asking?
I believe my dad was in the military, and he was stationed in Italy, and they met when he was stationed over there, and they came back together and got married and everything.
That's cool. That's what's up, man. So growing up there in New Orleans, that is like ground zero for bands. We've talked to so many folks from that area. What were you about to say?
Yeah, I felt like I had no choice but to get into it, At a young age, I was really into sports and everything, but as I started getting older, my older brother joined the band, and I felt like I just had to, It was something that was cool that all of my friends did, so I had to join it.
Right. And that's really, that's what's really exciting, and to talk to the folks from New Orleans, because for one, you still got your accent a little bit. I always mess with the folks New Orleans accent, but we talked to Gary Edgerson, and we talked to Gerard Howard, and Joshua Cousins, all those guys. They come from like a really serious type of thing. So it's cool to know that you from that area too. Now what? Because I know it's like middle school that's kind of like serious down there. What are your junior high school? Would you say you started like marching serious in junior high school, or was it at the high school level you started?
I didn't pick up a trumpet until the 9th grade. That was the first time I ever considered doing anything in marching band, and that was because my brother was in the band. His senior year was my 9th grade year.
Okay.
And so I didn't have anything to do for an hour after school, so I just joined the band till my mom came pick me up after school.
Wow. Okay. And what instrument you played in 9th grade? What did you play?
The first thing I picked up was a pair of cymbals, and then I pinched myself in the chest, and I was like, no, I can't go along doing this. And so I just wanted to play the smallest thing that was loud, so I picked up the trumpet.
Okay.
And I've been playing it ever since.
Yeah, man, because for folks all that don't know about, Louisiana, that, that's a lot of the kids in high school, junior high, can twirl them things and do all that stuff already.
Oh, yeah.
So,
those kids can do that, but I was really short, and they put me with a pair of 20s, and so they were too big for me anyway, so I didn't think I was going to last anyway.
So that's cool. So 9th grade, then you started playing the trumpet after that?
Yeah.
Okay. And like you said, that was the smallest thing that was loud or whatever. And there's a lot of good trumpets or whatever coming from that. So you started marching then there for the high school then? Yeah,
I started marching in high school.
Okay, and then did you guys march like high step or show style, whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, it was a high step. Most public schools in New Orleans, they do high step. I can't think of any public schools that do like the core style thing. Everything in New Orleans is strictly high stepping and, swag style.
Right. And that's so cool to hear, just because like I said, that's so much ground zero. Folks in other states, especially here in California, they can't even imagine that. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's so much different everywhere else.
Yeah, I know how you feel, because living out here in Iowa, I show people, clips of bands of like high schools, and they're like, man, like how do these kids play so loud, so, all the time and consistently? They're amazed by it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what's up, man. That's cool, man. So what high school did you go to?
I went to Eleanor McMain High School.
Okay, all right. And did you guys have like a major rival or anything like that there?
I would say our major rivals were like, let's see, when I was in high school, I would say it was like Carr and Forshey, because Forshey was uptown. Their school was right down the street from ours. And so we used to all get on the same bus together going home, and used to, always see each other walking past. So, like, everybody knew each other, and, sometimes things escalated beyond band, but, for the most part, things were pretty cool.
That's cool, man. That's actually really cool. So the same bus system, it was like a city bus system. It wasn't pertaining to that.
Yeah, it was a city bus system. Very few band kids caught the yellow bus because you had to stay after school for band. So the people who did catch the bus, they was on the RTA, which is the New Orleans bus system.
Okay. Wow, that's really interesting. That's pretty cool. So you had those experiences there, like you said, you done already named some bands y'all battle with or whatever. I'm sure it's getting to be 11th, 12th grade, or really 10th grade, 11th grade. You started making decisions about where you wanted to go to school. Where did you end up going to school? You tell the listeners, and did you have like a thought process? Did you know where you wanted to go, or did you have to weigh some stuff?
Well, I originally, my first choice, believe it or not, as much trash as I talk about, was Tennessee State University.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, that was my first choice. I was thinking Jackson State, but my brother went to Jackson State University. He was the trumpet section leader there. And I was like, man, I went to high school with him. I went to elementary school with him. I wanted to carve my own niche.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So Jackson State was possibly the last school on my mind. But straight out of high school, I ended up going to Howard University for a year.
Okay. All right. And how was that experience there at Howard?
It's completely different. The MEAC, man, it is nothing like I've ever done before. I've never seen tonal bass drums. I've never marched with a pair of quints. I've never, the mellophones and baritones, they play completely different at least at Howard University. Mm-hmm. And so it was a completely different experience for me. And I learned a lot from it. I gained a lot of musicality because of it.
Well, that's good. That's good. And did you like the D.C. area? Did you like going to school at Howard?
Oh, man, the school was lovely. The men to women ratio was like 70% women, 30% men, and all the women in D.C. were just beautiful. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to school for at least just for women, man, Howard has it going on.
Right. And it's not too bad in the books too, it do all right.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's a great academic school. You can't take anything away from the Howard academics. They're called the Black Harvard for a reason.
But hey, man, but to your credit, brother, the DMV is it's a lot of only fine women out there, but they all educated. You know what I'm saying? They got
a lot of smart, beautiful black women.
Yeah, man.
That's a good place to be.
Right. I feel you. I got you on that. So that's what's up, man. So you left Howard there after the first year. Did you transfer?
Yeah, I left after my first year. I had some financial problems because Howard is a very expensive school.
Right.
And then, Hurricane Katrina happened in 2005, and so I was helping out my mom with, like, Katrina and getting our house back together and trying to find a place to live and everything. So I sat out of school for a year.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, man. Actually, I talked to Garrett, and he actually had like a story similar like that. I think he was like in high school, and then he finished high school in like Arizona or something. Like he was like in a whole another state or something like that.
Yeah, a lot of my friends from McMain, they had finished school in Atlanta, Texas.
Wow.
A lot of people wanted to finish back home, but they couldn't.
Wow, that's crazy, man. So I guess, speaking from that, I guess that time, that was pretty, you took a year off school. I guess that really made you stronger, I guess, would you say? Do you think you would have stayed at Howard other than the finances and Katrina happening?
I really liked the school there. I don't know if I would have been in the marching band all 4 years.
Right.
But, you know, I really liked the school. The music program there was really good. It's just, man, if you ever try to go to Howard University, you'll understand. And everybody, all the listeners that attend HU know the deal with Howard finances. Like, you have to have money to go to Howard.
Yeah, it's that pressure. And that was another reason why I wanted to ask you about that, because, you know, you march, you know, we end up transferring to, but definitely the band experience isn't the same at Howard. Howard, you know, they have a good name or whatever, but it's not on the same level. It's not on like the same D1 level, if you will.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, most people who go to Howard don't go to Howard for a band.
Right.
They go to Howard, you know, because they're really intelligent and, you know, they want to do like business, and Howard has a really good business school and some other really good programs, and they just happen to play an instrument.
Right, exactly. So that goes into when you transferred to Jackson State. Now, was Jackson State the closest campus to your home?
After Katrina, we lived in Jackson, Mississippi for a while.
Okay.
I stayed in my brother's apartment for a little while before getting my own with my mom's. And, I mean, it just made sense for me to go to Jackson State. I was already in the area, you know what I'm saying? My brother was there. I could get established really easy, and so I just decided, you know, in the spring of 2006 to go to Jackson State.
Okay, that's what's up, man. So then did you start that spring? You started classes, or were you started classes that fall?
I started classes in the spring, but I
okay.
didn't crab in the band.
Right. Of course. So you crabbed 2006.
Fall 2006. Yeah.
That's cool. So, how many? Because now, you know, I think this is the first time I'm actually talking to someone who was in the band, younger than me. How many was in the trumpet section with you? Your crab class, I guess.
My crab class was 15 people.
Wow, 15, and all of them finished?
Well, we started with like 21, I believe. Like
Freshman
first day band
crabs?
camp. I think we started with 21 trumpet crabs. But, you know, financial reasons and some people finding out band life just isn't for them because it's on a different echelon from anything else.
Right.
That, you know, it eventually dropped down to 15.
Okay, well, that's still a good number. I know. I mean, that's
a pretty good number.
That's good. Yeah, we had 11, but 50. You came in with 20 something. So I mean, you were gonna leave with
they had 20 something people anyway.
Right.
So, I mean,
okay, so that's good. Yeah. That's good. That's really cool. So what would you say was your most memorable experience then marching there in the boom?
Oh man, I have so many. But I guess, you know, being from New Orleans, I've always seen Southern University marching band, you know what I'm saying? I think my first boombox classic was possibly the most intense moment, I think, of my band career, because if you look at clips from the 2006 year, the stadium was packed. There were no empty seats. One side was strictly yellow, and the other side was like strictly white and blue. And I mean, it was, you could cut the tension in the air with a knife. It was ridiculous.
Well, that's what's up, man. And how many years did you march then in the boom?
I did 3 years marching in the band, and I did 1 year on like student staff helping with arrangements and, you know, some other stuff.
Right. Because that rolls into my next. I was sitting there looking at my notes. That rolls into my next set of questions. Then, what was your major then there at Jackson State?
My major at Jackson State was music education.
Okay, so did you know you wanted to be a music educator when you started there at Jackson State?
When I started at Jackson State, I knew I was good at music, and I knew at the least I wanted to perform. But I know the performance route is really difficult for anybody. There's so many, talented musicians in the world, but so to be safe, I chose education.
That's cool.
Because, everybody needs a band director somewhere.
Yeah, everybody needs teachers, even though, they don't cut the budget like that. Everybody needs teachers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and some in part two, why I wanted to, interview you, because I see you doing big things. So you actually had to make the decision between the two, which means that you could actually play. You know what I'm saying? People don't know, like, when they be like, oh, I got to make the decision with performers. Those folks actually play on the horn.
Yeah, man, there are so many great musicians. And, I mean, even the greatest musicians, you look at some people, you'll see, they have an education degree because they know it's hard out here, man. Mm-hmm. It's hard out here.
Yeah, man. So that's what's up, man. So you did that. You get the music education degree there. When did you finish Jackson State?
Well, I actually left Jackson State in 2010.
Okay.
It was the spring of 2010. I left Jackson State, and I taught, through a nonprofit organization for a little while. I worked on the cruise ships for a little while playing trumpet.
Wow, okay.
I got a chance to play, with the Uptown Jazz Orchestra from time to time. I subbed with those guys. Whose band is it? Delphio Marcellus's big band. Mm-hmm. And I worked at Disneyland for a summer as well. So
I was gonna say that was.
I got it.
Yeah, you had out that, because I think I saw that a lot through a lot of your pictures and stuff. You really, even though, had some actual performance experience.
Yeah, I mean, I love playing my horn. I mean, as much as I like teaching people, I love performing even more. And when I played for Disneyland, I got to play with some of like the best of the best college students in the world. So that was a blessing.
Yeah, would you say that was your biggest musical experience then during that time when you were performing?
Yeah, I will say that is, because I'm in the LA area. There's like the best musicians in the world in the LA area. I got to meet Wayne Bergeron, who is like the guy who played lead trumpet on like The Incredibles and some of all of this other stuff. I got to meet Rick Baptist, who's the most recorded trumpet player, I think, in history, and a lot of really big name guys.
That's outstanding. And and you've always basically performed trumpet, I guess. Now, would you say like you have a forte, or do you have something that you like to play? Are you a classical guy? Are you?
I try not to limit myself. I learned at a young age that if you can't play one genre of music, you're probably not going to get called for anything. And so I try, I'm currently in the orchestra at Iowa State. I'm in the wind ensemble. I'm in the jazz bands. I try to do a little bit of everything. And so I dabble in everything. But if I was to say I like to do anything the most, it's playing lead trumpet.
Right. Okay.
And big bands.
Okay. All right. So you said that you're now at Iowa State now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, when did you start? When did you get to Iowa State?
Let's see. After I left the cruise ship thing, I worked around the New Orleans area, and my current fiance, she wanted to go and get her higher education degree. She wanted to get her master and her PhD. And so, we packed up. She got accepted into Iowa State, and we moved out here. I decided, I'm out here, I might as well continue, my education.
Right.
And I'm getting my music performance degree out here.
That's actually really cool. I commend you for that, man. A lot of folks, and I guess the younger people will figure this out. I think, I'm sure we got a lot of high school listeners and maybe some current folks in college now, how life kind of hits you. In your 20s, man, That's when life turns on, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, you already went through Katrina and all that. But I definitely commend you for, following, like you New Orleans say, following your old lady. You know what I'm saying? Following her and her dreams, because there needs to be more of a representation of men supporting women, definitely supporting them through education. Did she like send out applications all over the country?
Yeah, she sent out a lot of applications. I think, Penn State, I think Howard University was one of the places she sent applications to. She sent one here to Iowa State, and Iowa State gave her the best, combination of financial aid and, work opportunity and research opportunity. So.
Okay. So that's cool, man. So then you busted your hustle then, and I'm just now thinking, man, I actually have a cousin that actually finished Iowa State. Now that's in Ames, right?
Yeah, Ames, Iowa,
the Cyclones,
in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, the
Cyclones. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, that's cool, man. So you start, like you said, you did your hustle and then got to the campus. And what did you do? You just went to the music department and just showed them how cold you are on the horn or something?
What I initially did, I sent an email to the trumpet professor here. I let him know I was coming up here, just see if I could take some lessons from time to time, because I initially didn't intend to attend the school. But, I figured I was going to be out here 3 or 4 years. My second year out here, I decided, I might as well just enroll. It'll give me more playing opportunities. And I just talked to, the trumpet teacher. I talked to the head of the music department, who's a really cool guy, Dr. Galimo. And, those guys, they embraced me with open arms. They're really nice people.
Okay. And I'm sure definitely, you actually showed them, your skill on the horn. So now there at Iowa State, what is the, are you in music education?
I'm a music performance now. I really want to perform, and I decided, a few years ago that if I'm going to attempt to perform, I don't want to spend my time, writing lesson plans and, taking classes that would detract from my practice.
Yeah.
And so I figured I might as well go, balls to the wall and make it happen.
Right, because that's one thing I love about music educators. I'm learning. I started teaching a class at the community college, and I'm learning, developing lesson plans and a course description and a syllabus. I mean, that takes work.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for teachers, because my brother right now is a teacher at Cohen College Prep in New Orleans, and he's always busy, and he rarely gets to practice how he wants to practice. So I see that, and I don't want to do that.
Right.
I want to be able to play my horn whenever I want to play my horn, and if I do teach, it's going to be out of the comforts of my house, giving private lessons.
Right. Yeah, because that's huge. I hear so much from, music educators, they either can't practice on their horn, like they want to, or it's like the budget issue, or it's strictly an educational thing. Like, they then have to put themselves. So definitely, like you say, it's hard out there, but it's good that you're getting that opportunity there with Iowa State there. Could you talk, now you haven't marched at the marching band there, did you?
Oh, no, I don't do the core style thing. That's not my thing. They've always asked me if I wanted to march, but no, I just can't.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to ask it like that, just because, you, for all the listeners out there, you Trump Funk. All of it's the Royal Order of Trump Funk, called the trumpet section here at Jackson State. Well in existence when I was there, still there. So I just kind of just didn't picture it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They have a small group out here called Cyclone Sound, and it's like a recruitment thing that they go around in different high schools, and they play and talk to the kids about the school and the program. And I played a couple performances with those guys, but I felt awkward doing that, and I realized quickly that that's not my thing.
Right. And that's cool, man. So you actually, you're still there helping out. So you there taking classes. Now, do you do anything else there with the music program?
Yeah, aside from playing with the orchestra, everything else that I do, I arrange for the pep band, and I, also arrange for a marching band from time to time.
Okay. Now, do you throw in a little of your style in the pep band and the marching band when you do that?
I have to, just because it's been ingrained in me so much from, day one playing my trumpet. I still have to curb what I do as far as ranges, or especially in the mellophone baritone sections, because they just don't play like that. But I still, throw in a couple swag hits from time to time, just to give them something different than they're used to.
Right. Because I'm sure Iowa State's considered they're a football school, right?
We're mostly a basketball school.
Okay.
We have a really good basketball team, but our football team is very hit and miss, more miss than hit.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. So I didn't know it was either going to be the pep band or the marching band. It was going to have a little bit more of that attention. So are you ever, like you said, you there work with the marching band? What would you say is the difference? Because I'm kind of interested. What would you say out there, just being, I guess, as the administrator, the difference that you noticed between the marching band at Jackson State, or the program, or the program between the two schools?
I will say Jackson State is it's a lot more intense. Jackson State, even the school itself really revolves around, like the marching band. The marching band plays on the strip from time to time, and everybody wants to come out. Everybody comes out when the marching band practices. But, I mean, here the marching band is just a thing that is at the game. It's not, they don't practice as many hours, but, they're still really good, not taking anything away from them. But, it's just not that thing people come to school here for. And I guess it's more of a cultural thing than it is, just the school, because in the South, marching band is a thing. It's not like that out here.
Mm-hmm. And it's all right. You know what I mean? That's what people just, I guess, and that's why I wanted to see what you would say. It's basically, it's just a cultural thing. It's not really that much of a difference, but definitely it's much more intense. We see as, I guess, BCS football level, Alabama, you know what I mean? Basketball, Kentucky. That's basically what Jackson State is.
That's Jackson State. What Jackson State is the band, because, I mean, every school has their thing, or at least every conference. In the Big 12, Iowa State is in the Big 12. So there's like all the great football teams like the Oklahomas and, those things. And we have, really good basketball teams. Iowa State made the Elite Eight in the NCAA last year, and they made the tournament again this year before they were upset. But, I mean, like, I can't, it's not a real big marching band. Now, the marching band is 300 people, but when you factor in the size of the school itself, it's a small percentage of the population.
Wow. So the marching band there is 300 people?
Oh, the marching band here is huge. I love sometimes listening to, like, some of my arrangements, because there's just so many people playing, and, like, it's a lot of woodwind, so I have a lot more versatility of what I can do with instruments, but it's not that raw aggression and power that you get from standing in front of a Jackson State or Alabama State or something like that.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, like you said, that pressure, that intensity, I'm sure they're not like, cranking and like putting their horns up and down and all that stuff like that.
Oh, no. And if they do something like that, it's, them joking around. But, like, in a performance, no, there's none of that.
Right. That's outstanding, man. That's really cool. I didn't know that you were there at Iowa State, in that capacity. That's actually really, really cool. After you finish your degree there, and I know that the sky's limited for you and your lady there, but do you think that I'm not going to ask you. What do you think you want to do after you finish there at Iowa State?
I know eventually I want to be a studio musician, the kind of guys that play for like TV and movies and CDs and that kind of thing. That's what I would like to do, along with having, my own private trumpet studio at the house where, kids come and I give lessons. We give recitals, from time to time, so they can show how their parents, they're developing, maybe incorporate, some other instructors where I can get an entire ensemble possibly one day. But, I just want to perform. Anybody who's going to pay me to perform, you know what I'm saying? That's what I would really like to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, that's actually really cool because, it's like I say, I definitely, I hadn't heard you personally play, but I could just tell from all your pictures and stuff, like you say, you like to perform. And, I always...
Yeah, that's my thing, man.
So let me ask you this, since you were one of those people. I know they used to go down the line back in the band room, like, and like, trumpets, like, oh, I don't hear it. So then they start going down. I'm sure that was... Did you excel at that? Did you look forward to those?
I used to wait on those moments. I relished those moments because I knew my music.
Right.
There was nothing anybody can tell me as far as the music and the marching. That's what I know. So anytime somebody said go down the line, no matter if it was, Get Ready or Rolling Thunder, I was like, okay, you're going to know that I know my music. Eventually they just stopped asking me to play.
That's cool. I wish I had that courage, man, because, I just did not have that performance element in me where I could be okay in sectional. I had no problem playing okay in front of the funk. But we get in the band room in front of everybody, what I'm saying? It just wouldn't come out the same, And it would happen a lot. Let me tell you, he used to go out on the line a lot. And then Mr. Adams, man, it seemed like he would do it on purpose. Yeah, he would know, like, what I'm saying? He would just know.
Yeah.
And he would just like, oh, yeah, this is going to be really interesting. So it's cool to hear that it's always people like you out there, man, that just relish in those moments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I always like to think I thrive under pressure. I mean, I did so many recitals and performed so much in my life where somebody asked me to play something. It generally doesn't bother me that much.
So did you perform any recitals there at Jackson State?
Yeah, I tried to do one every semester, at least every semester. And Dr. Bishop, she was always kicking my butt about performing as much as possible.
Right.
But let me see, what did I perform? Like I did Grand Russian Fantasia, I did the Haydn Concerto, I did some stuff out of the Wynton Marsalis Carnival book.
Mm-hmm.
I did the Halsey Stevens Concerto, and some other things. And I'm continuing to learn out here at Iowa State. I actually played like Flight of the Bumblebee with the Wind Ensemble a few weeks back, and I think it went pretty well.
Well, that's outstanding, man. That's outstanding. We're getting to the end of the interview, and I wanted to see, I want to let you give us some information, or do you have any events coming up that you want us to be looking out for? And do you have any advice for any of the young kids, any of the young performers out there coming along?
I guess my advice to anybody, you know what I'm saying, if you want to do something, be great at it. If you want to play basketball, if you want to play trumpet, if you want to be a writer or a singer, or, if you want to drive a garbage truck for the rest of your life, do it and take pride and be great. And, always work to become better than you were yesterday. If you do that, then I can't see you not being successful in life.
That's what's up, man. I sure appreciate it, man. Do you have any recitals or anything coming up there at Iowa State? Or can we always listen for the basketball games, listen for the pep band, listen to
if you're listening for the pep band at the basketball games, I'm pretty sure you'll hear some of my hits. But right now we're working on orchestra concert coming up on the 24th, I believe, and I think I have a wind ensemble concert on the 23rd, the day before it. So that's what I'm working on now. I don't have any recitals or anything like that coming up because I just played one with the wind ensemble not too long ago. So I'm just kind of in relaxed mode, and I'm preparing for my wedding that's coming up. So.
Oh, all right. Well, congratulations, man. When is the
Thank
big
you.
day?
May 17th.
Oh, that's pretty close, man.
Yeah, it's right around the corner, man.
Yeah, that's all right, man. Well, man. We definitely wish you much blessings with the wedding. I mean, this is my second go round myself, so I know how it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? But that's really cool. Like I said, I really want to make sure I holler at you because, you young funk, you know what I'm saying? That's something that's one of the reasons why I transferred to Jackson State. I started at Smith and Johnson C. Smith, and we were small, and I really loved the people. I still love the people from Smith, but band-wise, we just didn't have that same tradition. We didn't have a trumpet section name. That's still there 10, 15, 20 years later, and, the same thing. And I can call people funk, you know what I mean? And now you actually have, through your horn, you're doing a lot of performance. So I just really wanted to highlight you there and, definitely platform you here on the network.
Well, I definitely appreciate you for having me on. I know we've been talking about getting it together for a while. I'm glad it finally happened.
Yeah, man, I finally got the little link where I could just send people because, just hitting them up and then just going back and forth with just dates and times, man, it was rough. But yeah, that little link, that saves me a lot. So, again, man, I really appreciate your time, man, and we'll definitely be looking forward, and I'll be definitely keeping you in touch about things. Do you ever get to homecoming much?
Oh, man, I haven't been on campus for at least 4 years, man.
Mm-hmm.
I might try to go at some point after, my wedding and everything, just to, I'll be mostly done with school and everything, just to holler at people, but I haven't been on campus in so long.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's hard. It's hard getting down there from Iowa, man. That's a good minute.
That's a 16-hour drive.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. So yeah, man. Well, hey, man, I appreciate your time and thanks for being on the network, man.
Oh, it's no problem. Thank you for having me.
All right, we're back, and we want to thank Damien for his time. I think we definitely want to start the trend. I definitely give folks a round of applause. Okay, I'm back and handle my stuff here on my little switchboard here. We want to thank Damien for his time in the interview. It was really good to meet him and to catch up with him. Always good to hear from folks that was, like I say, really good on the horn. And, I didn't want to say nothing about it in the intro, but them going down the line parts, you know what I'm saying? I always wanted someone to actually be really good at it, to actually talk and give the curse. Boy, I hated that boy when they used to come down the line. Anyway, really good meeting Damien and, been in touch with him. Now he's got, his wedding pictures on his Facebook page. So, we want to congratulate him on that and bless their union. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor or patron to the Marching Podcast, please contact the show and we'll give you the criteria so we can start to pub your business using our platform. We'll play your commercial. We'll post your website on our blog, and we'll help send out your information through social media. So contact us so we can help to build your business. All right? So if anyone wants to call in, you're welcome to 718-664-6025. We'll play our last commercial block of our beloved sponsors here before we sign off on the show. But again, you're welcome to call us here at the conclusion of the podcast. Again, thanks again for listening, and we chopping it up for the night. We'll take a break here to hear from our beloved sponsors.
Hey, it's the Edge One, Southern University class of 2013 graduate. You're here chopping it up on the Marching Podcast Network.
Having an anniversary party, birthday party, or better yet, you're about to marry that special someone? Liquid Effects Photography is the perfect choice to immortalize all your most special moments. With 10 years of dependable professional service that can deliver from the conventional to the best in cutting-edge technology and creativity. Come experience the uniqueness of Liquid Effects Photography. We serve the entire upper Midwest and will travel further upon request. Come check us out at liquideffects.com. That's LIQUIDEFFEX.com. Or call us at 773-454-5556. That's 773-454-5556.
What up, bandheads? Are you looking for a talk show about HBCU marching band? Well, look no further than the 90 Degree Show, brought to you by the Marching Podcast. Every Sunday during the football season at 8 p.m. Eastern, we recap the most intriguing battles of the weekend and give you, the listener, an opportunity to voice your opinion on the battle by calling into the show and talking with our panelists. Are you ready for the only interactive show in the world for HBCU marching bands? Then check us out Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern at blogtalkradio.com/marchingpodcast. The 90 Degree Show, the interactive HBCU band podcast show.
From photo shoots to graduation pictures, from pro base to band footage, from pageants to yard shows, there's only one team you can count on, the Edge One Productions. Visit theedge1.com and trust me, you won't be disappointed.
What up?
Need to write music and drills? Get it on the field. Outfit your band. Keep your administrator happy and still have a life. Encountering drama in the process, ain't nobody got time for that. Let block band music assist you with musical arrangements and drills to fit your band, and also the equipment, gear, and accessories to keep the visuals, music, and marching on point. Contact blockbandmusic@gmail.com and see how this worldwide minority-owned business can uplift your band.
Hi, this is Thaddeus Dixon, crab of 1994 from that famous sonic boom of the South, class of 2000 from the Jackson State University. And guess what? You're chopping it up with the Marching Podcast Network.
All right. Thanks a lot again for listening to the show. We don't see anyone calling in, so we can go ahead and start the exit music here, if you will. We want to thank again Damien for his time and listening to the Young Funk. We're proud of him and all that he's doing. Good luck to him in that degree up there in Iowa, and good luck on the marriage. Good luck to everyone that's listening on the network. Thanks again. It's been a good summer, and we got some more good interviews coming for you. Definitely a good one coming next week. That's all the time we have for the show. Again, we want to thank Young Funk Damien for his time. Check out the website and donate what's in your heart to themarchingpodcast.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Thanks to you for listening. And remember, the eye is a better pupil and more willing than the ear. Advice may be misleading, but examples are always clear. See you next time.